Hi guys, Steph here. Okay, the video is going to be slightly different today because what's actually happened, I received a couple of messages, emails, people asking me for a little bit of advice with regards to flexi nibs. Now, coincidentally, for the last week or so, a customer sent me 4 pens in for restoration. I finished them over the weekend, so they're ready to go back to the customer today. Just very briefly, a lovely Conway Stewart 388 from around about the 1950s. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the pen, go and take a look at my reviews on the 388. And then we've got 3 lovely Swan pens. We've got this one here. This is a gorgeous little Swan 3160. Once again, if you're interested in this pen, I've actually reviewed this pen before in different colours. The 3 series, as I say, this is a 3160. I think I did you on a review on the 3120, the 3140 and the 3170. Basically the same pen but different colours. So if you're interested, go and have a look at them. And last but not least, these lovely 2 little Hanson pens here. What we've got here is the Swan. These are the leverless pens, and what we've got for you is a grey 4230 and a lovely dark green 4240. Okay, as I said, the leverless pens, as you can see to the bottom there, they're what we term as a twist filler, which means that you simply twist the ends there. So all these pens have come to me, they've been fully restored, fully serviced, and they're ready to go back to the customer. So hopefully we'll send them back to him today. But as I say, slightly different. I'm not going to do a review because I've reviewed all these pens before. I've reviewed these 2. They may be a different colour. As I said, I've reviewed this pen in different colours as well. So I'm not going to do a review of the pens. I just thought I'd show you the pens before they go back. So what I'll do, I'll get these 3 pens here and we'll pop them to one side there. As I said, the reason for the video is to try and basically give a little bit of advice to some people regarding nibs. Now, as I say, I've received a couple of emails, people saying to me, Steph, I'm looking to get myself a nice flexi nib for writing with. What sort of nib, what pen would you recommend? Nice and simply, this is my opinion only. Obviously there'll be different opinions out there, there'll be different pens, but one of the best pens for a flexi nib are these Swan fountain pens, the vintage Swan fountain pens. Also you can get the Waterman, the vintage Waterman pens. There's some lovely excuse me, there's some lovely flexible nibs on some of the vintage Waterman nibs. And I think another one of my personal favourites, the Onoto pens, the vintage Onoto pens also have some lovely flexible nibs. But this particular one, as I say, it's going back today, but as I was restoring it, as with the other pens, it's got a gorgeous 14 carat maybe Todd nib to it. But when I was restoring it and cleaning everything, as far as the nib's concerned, I noticed there was a little bit of flex to this nib. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight into a writing sample. Just get myself some tissue prepared. Let's put some ink in the pen. Let's dip the nib in the ink, pull on the lever. Just the once will be fine because it's only for a writing sample. Okay, let's pop that to one side. Let's pop the ink to one side and let's see how the nib writes. Okay, I've just made a little bit of a mark there, doesn't matter. But as I say, some people say, what's the best nibs, best pens? As I say, the Swan pens have some gorgeous flexible nibs, and as I said, this particular one is a Swan. It's a 3160. It's a maybe Todd and Company Limited pen. Now the thing is with flexible nibs, I'm not a big writer, believe it or not. I'm a restorer, collector, etc. And with writing with these nibs is, well, it's an art in itself, so you'll have to excuse my writing, because I'm not a competent writer by all means, but there's some people that can actually make these pens sing and they write beautifully. But let's just show you some of the flex on this nib. If we give you a downstroke like so, you can see we've got a broad line, whereas the cross line, as you can see there, is a fine line. So when people are writing, obviously on the downward stroke, they apply a little bit more pressure. So let's do some figure of eights. Okay, see, even as I'm doing a figure of eights, I'm trying not to apply too much pressure. It is, as I say, it is an art in itself, actually using these pens. But there you go, a little bit better. So as we said, if we apply, there you go, a little bit better there. Swan, as you can see in the downward stroke, we're getting a little bit more of a flexi nib. That's not a very good example. Once more, let's just do this figure of eight. I think that's the most simplest and easiest way to demonstrate the flexibility of the nib. As I say, I'm not a big writer, so I'm actually finding it rather difficult even trying to demonstrate the flexibility on the nib. As I say, it's an art in itself. I've got one or two customers, one particular gentleman, Chris, he knows who he is. His writing is absolutely phenomenal. He knows how to use these nibs, he knows how to make them sing, and his writing is absolutely beautiful. But there you go, there's a brief example. As we said, what we do, we apply on the downward stroke some pressure, the cross stroke gives us a finer line. So there's the writing sample, and what we'll do, let's put the cap back on, and we're going to leave it at that. It's going to be rather a brief video. It's just simply sort of giving my personal recommendation on flexi nibs from Swan pens, some gorgeous nibs. Again, as I mentioned before, Watermans, Onoto pens also have some beautiful flexi nibs. I believe there's actually some modern pens which have flexi nibs. I'm sure there's people out there that use them that will comment, will make suggestions. It's only a personal view, and it's my view. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at this very brief demonstration. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pens. Don't be shy, leave a comment below. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, even subscribe to my channel as well. And if you possibly can, down below, please support my work. But for now, I'll just say bye bye for now.